Keegan's goals, and of course that goal you scored, Peter. I mean, is that something you practiced in training?
No, definitely not. Arthur wouldn't let us do that. No, to be fair, we obviously went 1-0 down on the day, and everybody thought the party was over, if you understand what I mean, so we already got promotion. But then obviously the gaffer and Waddle score, as I call them, and it was amazing. And then it was perfect for me, and I'm being big-headed here, so it was perfect for me because it was the last 5 minutes of the game, and it ended up being my 20th league goal, which, as Kevin earlier said, I'd never scored goals before, I'd never played games before, and he was right. So to score 20 goals in my first season, 34 games, obviously I counted. So it was just a brilliant thing to be a part of, you know. But one of the most horrible things and the most funny things, in the same way, was probably the midweek game after that, when Kevin and Terry scored against Liverpool, and we drew 2-2, and Kevin goes away in the helicopter. And the reason you'll understand in a minute when I tell you. So Kevin goes into the helicopter, and anybody that was there would have saw he took his shirt off and give it to a man. I don't know who he gave it to at the time, but I was standing next to Kenny Wharton, remember it as always yesterday, and I said, "That's just typical." And Kenny went, "What? What are you on about?" I said, "Have you not just seen what Kevin's done?" I said, "He just took his shirt off and give it to somebody." I said, "That's just like incredible. That's his last ever shirt." That's not the story. It gets better. So anyway, we then, so that's the only way that night that Kevin Keegan can get out of that ground. And what I mean by that is the helicopter. So he flies to the Gosford Park, and we all go by cars, Terry, myself, Waddler, families, whatever. So the first thing I said to Kevin was, "That was unbelievable what you did, you know, when you got in the helicopter and give that man your shirt." And he went, "What? What do you mean, Pedro?" I said, "Well, when you got in the helicopter, you took your shirt off, give it to the man." He said, "I told him to give it to you." That is a true story. That is 100%. He gave it to a copper, who, I didn't know it was a copper at the time, but he gave it to a copper, and I have never seen that shirt since. It is funny, but it's not very funny if you're me, because that would have been his last shirt ever. But the copper's obviously enjoying it, and probably enjoying his retirement with it. But that is 100% true.
And another thing about that night, the club never got any permission for an helicopter to land on St James's Park. So they got in real trouble about that, you know. But it's a great way to leave the ground, I've got to say. It's no traffic. And it was a wonderful end to my football career, because as the helicopter went up, I just saw St James's Park all lit up, obviously. Crowd still fully in there, and it just went smaller and smaller and smaller as he went up, and it was like, you know, very nostalgic for me, and when I think about it now. But it was a good way to end my career. Obviously, Terry still had a year left, but Jack Charlton came, and that didn't last long after that.
But this, you know, to hang the boots up, is it right? Is that the true story that it came at Liverpool?
Yes.
When you played in the FA Cup,
yeah.
Obviously fantastic support down there. Nearly, I think it was something like 15,000 Jordans travelled down that night, and it was a fantastic atmosphere. First televised FA Cup game on Match of the Day on BBC. But yeah, that was the night then.
Yeah, I knocked it past Mark Lawrenson, and I was clean through, I thought. So I'm now looking for the goalkeeper, and he just come back to get off me, and it was like, poof, that was a sign. I didn't really want to drop back into midfield, so I said to my wife afterwards, "That's my last, I'm finished at the end of the season." I went and told Coxey, and he never even questioned it. He said, "No, that's all right," because that's the sort of guy he was. But yeah, that one thing, because I always promised myself that I wouldn't overstay my welcome, you know. So, and everyone said to me afterwards, you know, Mark Lawrence could do that to anyone in the world. He was so quick. But the fact he did it to me, it was like it was just a flag, a red flag, and it just destroyed me, because I was looking for the goalkeeper. Because when you get to that level that I played at, you know when the guy can't catch you again. You know, I've always said the big difference between the average players and the great players is that an average player just sees that, But the great players, they have like what I call cinema around. They go click, click, and they know everything that's going off, whether a guy's going to catch them or not, and whatever. And when someone does something like that to you, it does have a massive effect on you psychologically. And I thought, well, I'm 33, I had a great run, and we'd achieved what we could at Newcastle. I wasn't sure about going up with Newcastle either as well, because we were going to play against better players, but they did quite well without me, to be honest, and that was good.
What's your greatest memory, Peter, and your greatest goal in that period, 82 to 84?
The most enjoyable was definitely the Portsmouth goal. You know, it probably, to people now, if I did that now, people probably think I was taking the piss, as in trying to be cocky and clever, but it wasn't the way I was. But when you're able to score a great goal, as people have told me over the years, and the amount of people say, what's your favourite goal? And I tell them the Portsmouth goal, and they go, no, it was Brighton. It just drives you mad.
Portsmouth was my favourite goal.
Yeah, well, they ask you, and then they don't agree with you. I find it really strange. But no, to be fair, when you look at it, obviously Terry scored some unbelievable goals, and obviously the other two naturally scored unbelievable goals. But the three of us, we scored 65 between us, which was like incredible. It really, really was, because I missed the first 8 games. So it was just amazing that we could score that many goals, and to be a part of something so exciting for my club was something that we lived with.
What's your favourite memory?
Yeah, to be fair, so the memory of the season, it'll be probably a stupid memory for a lot of people, but was Easter Monday. I think it was Easter Monday. We went to play Huddersfield, and we're driving down to play Huddersfield Easter Monday, and Arthur Cox called me to the front of the bus, and he said, do you know why I'm bringing you to the front of the bus? And obviously I didn't have a clue, really didn't have a clue, but obviously the gaffer missed the game. He'd been hit with a cricket ball in the gym, so it was getting near the summer, and
dangerous game, cricket.
But it is actually true. He did get hit by a cricket ball, so he missed the game. But Arthur Cox took me to the front of the bus, nobody around, and he said, he made sure that nobody else was around, and he said to me, he said, you're going to wear the number 7 today. I went, what? Because obviously in them days, you didn't have a number of your own as such. He said, there's only one person on this bus that can wear that number, and that's you. And that was like a moment for me that I will never forget. So Arthur was, as I said, he was different to me than he was to Waddle and Kenny and Wales and all that. But he knew what that meant to me, what it meant to anybody. You know, I didn't get the one out of the helicopter, but I've still got the one that I wore that day, which was the silver one. We wore the silver one that day, so I've got a number 7. But in them days, and obviously them two at the very end will know, you never got shirts, so at the end of the game, you put them back in to be washed. But I can honestly say on Easter Monday, that shirt never went back in the wash.
Chris, your favourite goal in that period, your best memory?
Couldn't tell you a goal, I can't remember any of them.
Just say that ball will be worth a bit more. The goal is scored, I can't remember the goal.
I just think that the good thing was for the local lads who were there before Kevin, Terry and Peter came, was we weren't going anywhere, and to achieve something in the space of 2 seasons for a lot of them to get a promotion, people talk about Peter and Kevin and myself and whoever, I tell you, but the team itself, a lot of players played a lot of games that season. It wasn't just like, we dropped in and used them one game and thought back. A lot of players played most of the games. So to get over the lane with the squad we had, and then obviously start looking to think, well, will we succeed in the league above? That was to come. I think it was just a great achievement for the team. Obviously it's lovely for when Kevin came, the goal was to get out of that league. As he said earlier, it could have been the 3rd division, but it wasn't. It was the top league. and we scored so many goals. You know, every week you did look forward. We got into a rhythm, I think, where you look forward to just putting the kit on and going out and playing. You didn't really think about, I can't remember, never worked on tactics. I remember just playing a lot of football and doing the odd set piece, but I can't remember working on tactics at all. And it was just a matter of just going out there and going and playing football and see how many goals. I actually just say, if we looked at it after, felt when I played the team, that it was how many goals we would score, we'd outscore the other team. So if they scored 3, I always thought, well, we'd score 4. And I think that was that mentality of that team. So I'd look at it as a picture. See, I wouldn't see a particular goal, and I wouldn't say a particular. The Brighton game was a great game to play in the end when you're actually over the lane and you know you actually think it's done. But I just think the course of the season, because we did have freak results where we should have won and didn't, and it had to be that type of way. It wasn't going to be like Chelsea and Sheffield looked nailed on. We were always going to be that will we not, and I suppose that's Newcastle as well. I looked at it that season like that. The only thing I regret with the 2 years when Kevin was here was on the end of that stupid tour in the Middle East where we went.
The Japan Cup?
Yeah.
Well, what is it?
No, but
1982.
That was like being away for 5 years, right? 27 hours it took we got there to get there. We stopped at every place in Europe. I don't know who booked it, Philly's Folk Tours, whatever. It was just, I've never ever been on a tour like that in my life. At the end of the season, we had 3.5 weeks. It was like going to the friggin' World Cup. It was an unbelievable trip. All that I've seen, honestly, I've never seen anything like that.
Great stuff, great stuff. You talk about great players like Kevin Carr. He still holds the club record, I think 6 clean sheets in a row that season, which, you know, still a club record to this day. No surprise. Terry, same question to you. You know, can you remember any particular goals and yeah, just your greatest memories over the last 2 years? Probably over the last 2 years, not 82, 84.
After 2 years there, loved every minute of it. Loved the manager, loved obviously Kevin. The players were great. Devastated when Kevin decided he wasn't going to be playing next year for Newcastle. But I thought, well, I'm still going to stay because I love the club anyway. So I was going to get married on a Saturday, it was in June, and I was at Ascot races, believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe. And I got a phone call, because Arthur had not long left, that the new manager was going to be there, Jack Charlton. I said, all right. Joe Harvey was there at the time. He said he wants to see you. I said, well, I'm in an Ascot and I'm getting married at the weekend, so I'm not going to drive all the way to Newcastle to come back. He said, well, you need to, because Andy needs to talk to you. Oh, gutted, absolutely gutted. But got in the car and took to Newcastle and we sat there waiting for, well, one person had sat there, but it wasn't the manager. I'm sat there waiting for him to come. You know, I've come all the way from Ascot, and he just he come walking in. He goes, "Hi Terry, how are you?" "I'm fine, thanks, yeah." He says, "So you get married, aren't you, the weekend?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, let's get this done then. Here's the contract for a year next season." So I went, "All right." No agents then. Looked at him. I said, "Well, Jack, that's exactly the same as what I've been on for the last 2 years. I took a big chunk of money just to play for Newcastle, and I've got wage demands and all that. I just wanted to play for Newcastle." So he said, "Well, I think it's a good contract." I said, "Well, we're in the first division now, so sure." I took a big hit. He said, "Well, that's the offer and that's what you're getting." I said, "Well, very good. Thanks very much for the time." Got out, let's go to the door, took a shot in there, and he said, "You'll be back." So I opened the door and said, "You fucking watch." And I never went back again, and it was the worst thing I could have done. But in them days, when you had if you had a contract, they kept hold of it, your contract, and you couldn't sign for no one else. But now it's all different. They finish the contract and then off they go, go where they want. But I had to sit suffering at Newcastle. They played the first game, second game, and I'm running around Pont Hill and the golf club just to try and keep myself fit. And then they stopped paying me. When they stopped paying me for 2 months, then you can go wherever you want, but I didn't want to go anywhere. You know, that was the worst time I ever had in Newcastle.
Kevin, for you as well, same question, your favourite goal in that 2-year period and your best memory?
I can remember we played a game at St James's Park and we won it. It was a great day. I remember Arthur Cox said Bobby Robson wants to see you, and he was England manager, and I was still, you know, it was early days, so it's not my best memory, but I went in and, you know, Bobby was an incredible, you couldn't dislike, but if anyone said they don't like Bobby Robson, they'd be lying, wouldn't they? But he said, he always used to make a few rips, so I came in, he was so excited as a Geordie, it was after the QPR game, that's how early it was, and he said, Kenneth? Says Kevin. He said, Kevin. He said, that was unbelievable today. He said, as a Geordie watching that QPR game and stuff like that, because I'd left the Premiership, Southampton, to come down a division. And I was England captain at that time when I came in. But I knew I wouldn't be playing forever for England, don't get me wrong, but he pulled me in the boot room and he said, that was unbelievable today as a Geordie. Unbelievable, Kenneth. Said Kevin. He said, I've never seen an atmosphere like here in all the time. I said, no, it's fantastic. I don't think I've played anything like that. He said, I'll see you next week. So I went back to Arthur Cox and he said, how did it go? I said, I'll be in the squad, because he said, I'll see you next week. Then on the Monday the squad came out and I wasn't in it. I called Kenneth in there though, so that was okay. But my best memory had to be my debut, because you've got to remember, I played at Wembley, I played in cup finals, I played in European cup finals, I played in the Maracana in Brazil when it was half full and there was 140,000 people in there. Held 280,000 people in Maracana back in the day, before health and safety. And yet I can honestly say that when we ran out on the pitch that day, the atmosphere at St James's Park, I have never heard anything like that. My final game, when I threw the shirt for Peter that the policeman stole, allegedly, there's a picture, I'm sure some of you may have seen it, which Alan Shearer sent me a few months ago, and he said it's 37 years or whatever it is today. And I'm getting into the helicopter, and one of the ball boys is Alan Shearer. If you've seen the picture, you may have seen it around. I mean, I never knew. I knew he was a ball boy, I never knew there was a picture, and there's just a little picture of him as a 7-year-old looking up. And of course he came to my Blue Star soccer days as well, and he was a goalkeeper. He was not a good goalkeeper. The only other thing is I had Paul Gascoigne as my boot boy. Now that's not good news, I've got to tell you. When we didn't have loads of boots in those days, we used to patch them up, didn't we? And I had these Patrick boots that I was endorsed to wear, and then patched up, we scored a lot of goals like the other two guys were. And came in one morning, and hanging on my peg was just one boot. So I looked for Gaz and he was hiding out the way. I finally found him. I said, what happened? I've got one boot. You're not going to believe this. You'll never believe it. He said, my mate didn't believe I could clean your shoes, so I took them home on the bus. And he said, I left one of them on the bus. He said, I couldn't sleep all night. He said, I was there at 5:30 this morning at the depot. The boot's not been handed back in. And despite having him as a boot boy, and despite all the things, I honestly would not have swapped my 2 years here as a player for any, not for Hamburg, where it was great, Liverpool it matched, not for Scunthorpe, where I started, and certainly not for Southampton. Moving here to finish my career, just like Peter moving here to play for the club that he wanted to play for more than anything else, was the best thing I ever did. So,
just before we finish off, lads, obviously the fans are the one thing that's always constant about this great club of ours at St James's Park. One last message for the fans before we finish off, Peter.
Well, the 4 people sitting here, yourself included, Steve, to make it 5, we're all Geordies at heart, so obviously born and bred myself, but the other 4 basically love this team, you know, have great memories with this team, and obviously we hope for a brighter future for everybody.
Same for you, Chris. Message for the fans.
You know the fans would say, I'm going to start the season, everybody said I'm going to boycott this and boycott that. And I always said you could put 16 schoolboys out and look at 50,000. So listen, they love the club, and listen, it's a bit of a rough time at the minute, but I'm sure it'll turn, and we've definitely got the fan base.
Last message from you, Terry, just for the fans for the night, for coming.
Tonight, and all the other Geordies all around the nation here. I mean, this club is fantastic. We all think down here. Just want to win a trophy for all these people.
We need the final word to the man at the end who leads the introduction. Kevin, your message to the fans.
Yeah, I've already said one, because you can just put the ground in it once, yeah, all that what I said. It's your club and things like that, but it is your club. It doesn't matter. Everyone will have a different opinion of what you should do when the club goes through the 12 years that it's probably gone through. But the only opinion that really matters is your opinion. If you want to go to the games, go, because you love the club. If you love the club so much that you feel you can't go to support, don't go. But I don't think you should. I'm not personally for people shoving their opinions onto anybody else. This is an individual choice that you have, and don't be bullied. If you want to go, go, because it's those players, and you know they still need your support. So you've got to think long and hard. I know it's tough, and I know Steve's a big fan of other stuff, and I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I see it, all the angles, but you as an individual, and every one of you in this room, just like the 5 on this top table, we're all different. We all don't think the same, we all don't act the same, whatever. So don't let people clone you and do things you don't want to do. Be yourself, and that will always get you through the end.
Always listen to Kevin Keegan. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Rogen Recovery. Thank you, recording consult engineer and the sponsor tonight. But most of all, thank you to the legends on the top table. Peter Beardsley, Chris Waddle, Terry McDermott, and Kevin Keegan, the Fantastic Four!